Welcome to No Kindred Hungry. We are a group of Vampire the Masquerade players playing a game to specifically raise money for hunger charities in the United States. This past year's COVID-19 pandemic has left families struggling emotionally and financially. People are hungry across America, and many children struggle as schools are closed and they cannot receive access to the school meals they've come to rely on. It's easy in this day and age to give to charity and feel disconnected as to where the money is going towards. But when you give to No Kid Hungry, please understand that your money is going directly to helping families survive. Your donation, no matter how small, can make a huge difference in someone's life. To donate, please reference our linked campaign below. And thank you so much for your support. I'm your storyteller for the game today, Shane Easton. I have never told a vampire story before. I've played several games, but I've never told one, so this is going to be kind of a different experience as it's my first time. You will see me sometimes asking the players of the game for their advice because they are all master storytellers and players within the world of darkness. And we're just going to have a lot of fun. But before we begin, we will start with a prologue. There's something about it, isn't there? The absence of everything. Mr. Walters could only make it in a place like this. His slightly chubby legs pushing upon the newly laid pavement, the pink neon light dimpling his cheeks, his red hair billowing in tufts against the desert wind. Everything was happening. Money was happening. Money and booze and suckers ready to lose. That's what he called it. And that's what was happening. Because here, Mr. Walters could make it. He was smart, but a different kind of smart. He knew the right people. He knew what people wanted, and he knew how to negotiate. Mostly, he knew the addiction, the bump, the reason the gamblers keep going, the reason the drinkers keep drinking, the why of this lawless West. He kept walking. He was far beyond the strip now, the twinkling lights, laughter, and chorus girls just trembling stars on the horizon. But he was still within the city limits, and directly in front of him, his piece of sinner's pie. It was a pit, a dirt pit, with machinery, ground freshly broken today, soon to be the site of Walter's Casino. Your very own desert paradise, coming this summer, 1951. Walters adjusted the collar on his sharkskin suit, lit a cigarette, and took a long drag. I can think of a better name than Walter's Casino, he thought. A name that's flashier, modern. Mr. Walters knew he was destined for something special. The pus-ridden lick behind him thought he was destined for something else. And now, before we begin the game, let's please meet the players. Starting with Ellie.
Hi, I am Ellie Collins, and I am playing Dalla Abbiati, the Malkavian.
Cool. Bully.
As she just called me, I am Bully. I am the storyteller for Table Goth, and I'll be playing Lullaby, the Hakata.
Steve.
Hey, I'm Steve. I'm the storyteller for Vancouver by Night, and I'm going to be playing Clement, the Bruja.
Elijah.
Hi, my name's Elijah Israel. I am the storyteller for Near Dark Society, and I will be playing Raphael Body, the Lysandra pack leader.
I love it. And our guest for the game?
Hi, my name is Alexander Ward, and I will be playing Mr. Walters.
Very cool. Okay, so if you were with us last time, you remember that Trixie, the Bruja, was taken, stolen, possibly by the Tremere. After months of searching at the request of Darla, our pack has ended up moving through the Central Valley of California, and all of you have almost given up hope of finding Trixie until one evening you receive a note. This note says, "Cool your jets. We got that Trixie cat. Willing to negotiate a trade. A representative will be in touch with you soon to arrange transport. Heaven, Nevada. You'll dig it the most." Late that evening, a young and dumb ghoul named Mike shows up with a freight truck. To your surprise, the inside of the back of the truck is decked out like a stretch limo with large crimson couches, a flat screen television, and crystal decanters. Empty crystal decanters, but still a nice touch. You all rest in the darkness of the freight truck as it heads east, and you awake hours later, waiting for your arrival.
Shall we start with a rouse? Just woken up?
Absolutely.
Pass.
Not passed.
That is a success on my end.
I don't know about the rest of you, but Lullaby's ready for breakfast. A little hungry already.
Very good. Okay. You can feel the truck vibrating beneath you as you are heading east, you suppose. And there is a new member among you.
Good morning, Clement. A night, whatever.
Isn't it?
Hmm.
This gaudy transport. Are we there yet?
You sound like a toddler. We're clearly not there yet. And look, we know this is going to be a fucking trap, all right? But we gotta take every lead to get Trixie back.
Hopefully, this is the last stop.
Are you, Darla, if he sounds like a toddler, I've been having that same dream with a toddler with a voice like his. You been having that too?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, ignore me. I just thought we were onto something there for a second. I hate kids. Clement.
They can be tasty.
Yeah, I think it'll
Good,
be all right.
good joke, Clement. Good joke. All right.
Out of character, give us a rundown on Clement. Assuming you're already with us, what's Clement's deal? What's Clement look like? Just so much to
Clement
love or hate him.
has the stereotypical Bruja biker outfit on. He's got long hair. He would have gotten in contact with the pack after finding out that his cousin Trixie disappeared, as they kind of share the same sire.
Okay.
And he probably would have met up with you at some point during the last couple of months of searching.
Awesome. Okay.
I agree with Raphael. This is a trap.
We know. But it's the only good lead we've got.
And the only way to shut Darla up about all this.
Yeah, it's the only way to shut me up. We get Trixie back, I'll shut up all day long.
All of a sudden, the truck makes a sharp left turn, throwing you all into the right side of the truck's wall.
With driving.
Is it that insufferable ghoul?
Driving ain't all that it's cracked up to be. It's hard. I've tried.
I will say one thing. With Trixie not being here, it's been rather quiet. So,
You want to watch your fucking mouth?
though I understand you do miss her, Darla. So, if it pleases you, we'll continue searching.
Yeah, we will.
The truck slams to a halt, sending you all into the forward part of the truck.
Did he get
Is it
his
kinda
fucking
fun?
driver's license? Did he get out of a Cracker Jack box? What is this?
I'm gonna eat that driver. Is that okay?
Fucking go right ahead as long as we don't need him.
Cool.
I like it. I haven't felt this close to you guys in a while.
Was it Clement? Correct? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm rather bad with names. Subtlety is a rule amongst this pack. So,
I
If
love
you
when he does
choose-
this.
to feed, remember, subtlety. Your cousin wasn't quite, well, prone to that.
Well, she was very subtle.
Just as subtle as a bull in a china shop.
Exactly.
Actually, Mythbusters disproved that.
Well,
You
let's say
hear
subtle
some-
as a bruja in a china shop then.
There we go.
You hear some loud grunting as Mike, the ghoul who was driving the truck, opens the double layer backstop of the freight truck. He says, "Well, we're here. Just come on out and head down that road."
All right, sugar. And Darla is going to get up and just be the first one out, pat his shoulder on the way out.
Before we get going, would you like me to do, as the pack priest, do a little something to keep us all together, make sure we got our heads on straight before we go looking for our dear Trixie?
Yes, that would be wise. That way I don't
I've been practicing.
a tantrum with my packmates.
Yes, thank
That-
you, darling.
I've been reading up on the cane stuff, and I think I got it down. I know I'm new to all this Sabbat business, but gather around. I'll pull out the silver goblet that used to belong to what's this first?
Baxter.
I just remember Hammermeister.
That was his last name. Yeah. Baxter
that-
Hammermeister. The most German name I could find.
At this
Darla's
point-
just leaning up on the edge of the truck, waiting for her turn.
And you are all out of the truck at this point?
Yeah. I'm gonna pat Mike on the back, and then I'm gonna eat him.
You're going to eat him.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Brutal
I don't
feed.
think. How are
Or
you
what-
going to do this? What is your plan of attack?
I'm just gonna do what Darla did, like pat him on the back, and then I'm just gonna muckle onto him and brutal feed.
Okay, you caught him unaware. I'm just gonna give you that. So you suck him down like a
Ugh.
Slurpee.
Killing him or
Oh.
just the one hunger?
Brutal feed. Oh, the
Okay.
whole thing's
Feed
coming.
all the way.
All right.
I don't like it when people throw me around in the back of a truck.
They're doing that. I mean, our host might not appreciate you just eating the first ghoul, but if you're gonna do it, save a little bit for me because I'm actually hungry.
All right, I'll see if I can save a little bit for Lullaby. He's mostly dead. Yeah, he's
All the way. I actually prefer all the way dead. I like it to cool off a little bit.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah,
Have you ever had blood at room temperature? It really is something about
With-
it. I don't know why
with that
everyone's all
little
obsessed with the
blood
hot
left
stuff.
in the guy, I don't think he's alive anymore.
Good. I will let him cool there while my meal gets ready. Everyone gather around. I'm doing something important.
All right.
Hold the cup, slosh it around. Already some of my blood in it. Come on, you know the drill. I'll pass it around for everyone to put a little bit of their blood so you complete the ritual. Close my eyes.
There we go.
Up
And
to
pass it
night.
along.
Desert sky.
I bleed into it.
Dark, daddy, deep beneath the earth. We beseech thee. Be with us. Be with this cursed pack. Us as a whole. Think of us as your body. A body that's missing a part. That part we're missing, it's kind of that loose part that acts up on occasion to let you know when the storm's coming. Let us be that storm today as we hunt down our loose part, our dear Trixie. We come out of this situation whole, ready to do your dark bidding. Maybe have a little bit of fun on the way. Thank you, Kane. All right, drink up, and I'll take a swig. Mentally wipe some of the blood.
That was a
The thing.
beautiful vernaculum. Their lullaby.
I told you I've been practicing.
Pass it to Clement.
Drink. Pass it to Raphael.
And I drink.
That's for last. I'm gonna get the last little bit of blood from the corpse then, if that's okay.
Yeah, not mine anymore. Go nuts.
Take away some of my hunger from waking up, and then just look for Raphael to lead the way. Although I guess Darla might already be.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is jump out and take a look around just to make sure no one saw brutal feeding on this.
When you look around, Raphael, you see that you are in the middle of a vast desert. In front of you is a wide dirt road, wide enough to be a double lane road. And surrounding both sides of the road are rows and rows and rows of cars, almost as if it were an amusement park parking lot. And there's a hand-painted sign pretty near to you. It's painted in black and neon green. And it says, Cathari Road, Heaven, 2 miles. And a little arrow pointing down the road.
Are we hoofing it?
I don't know if any of these run.
Well, I suppose so. Or we could just, take the vehicle. Clement, do you want to clean up your mess?
Oh yeah, sure thing. I'll grab the body and toss it in the back.
I particularly do not want to walk that way. We could just take the vehicle and park nearby.
You want me to drive?
If you wish.
All of a sudden, you hear a scream. You look behind the truck, and coming directly at the truck is a Tesla Model X vehicle, female hanging out the driver's side window, yelling something inaudible at you, coming extremely fast towards the truck.
Towards the truck or sorry, when we parked, did we pull off the road and she's coming down the road, or she's barreling at us?
There's basically a T in the road. She came from the horizontal street and she's coming down. She's heading directly towards the driver's side part of the truck.
Okay.
And she is probably going to hit the truck in 5, 4,
We're
3.
out of the way.
Jumping out of the way.
Out of the way.
Okay. Oh, good.
I'm going to stand
You
a
are out of
little
the way.
too long and take a hard look because Trixie loved hanging out of windows of fast-moving vehicles. And goddamn, this might be her.
Oh, good point.
I have heightened senses, so I'm going to see if I could kind of get a better look from a distance before they're too close.
Okay, from the distance, from the brief amount of time you're able to see her with your heightened senses activated, you see a female, looks to be plain to the eye, a kindred. It doesn't seem like somebody who's really hiding what they are. In fact, you think you see them disappear for a moment and then come back as they're hanging out the side of the vehicle. Their shirt, they're wearing a white blouse that's kind of roughed up and dirty, and their hair is in a bouncy ponytail. they hit the truck, and the truck kind of knocks you to the side a little bit. You don't take any damage, but you felt that. The girl stumbles out of the car, and on the other side of the car, somebody else stumbles out, a young man, and he takes one look at all of you, and he just starts running the other direction. She's running kind of on the road that says Cathari, 2 miles to heaven. The girl looks up at you and said, "Y'all gotta stop that man, stop him."
Blank.
You blink. You don't have to roll for that, huh?
But I do
Rouse.
have to rouse check,
Go for
which
it.
I did not do well on. So I'm back to 2 hunger.
Sounds good. But you do catch the guy, and you're holding him in your arms, and the girl kind of runs up to you, and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." And while he's still in your arms, she brutal feeds him as you're holding him, and completely
like her.
drains him. It takes just a few seconds, and she stands up and she says, "Oh, y'all must be, are y'all that pack from the East Coast?"
Oh, good. We have a reputation. Who the hell are you?
"Oh, my name's Peggy. You got my note then, didn't you?"
Oh, it was your note. Where the fuck is Trixie?
"Well, that's what the mayor told me that I'm supposed to. I gotta take you guys to her so you can go get her. Hold on one second." She
Okay.
runs back to the car, and she reaches in. She pulls out a jacket. She puts on her jacket.
While she's over there, I'm gonna lean over to Darla and be like, "The mayor?"
I have no fucking idea.
Clement, is
There's
this
a person who.
broodmate of yours? A relative
I
of
don't
you and
know her.
Trixie? Sorry, there seems to be a resemblance for some reason.
What'd you
She
say,
It's a
Rowan?
hanging out
People
the
wearing
window
leather.
thing.
Oh.
She ain't wearing leather.
Actually, you get a look at the jacket, and it is a leather jacket
Oh,
that she pulled
In
from
that
the car.
case, yeah, I can see the resemblance.
Darla, take a long look at that leather jacket she has on.
Oh no. I'm gonna make a wits and awareness for that.
Please do.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna take the dead body and add it to the pile in the back.
No.
I was.
One success, but it's a critical.
It doesn't take much for you, honestly, to notice the tear on the elbow of the leather jacket. Trixie's jacket had that exact same tear in that exact same location. As a matter of fact, the more you look at it, the more you think that the jacket that she has on is actually Trixie's.
Where'd you get that fucking jacket?
It was in the pile. We have a pile back in
Give it
heaven.
to
that-
me.
Are you? No, I'm not going to give you my.
Give
No.
it to me right now, or you're gonna fucking regret it. Give
No.
me the fucking jacket.
Can we have some civil conversation for a
She
moment?
gives me the jacket.
I'm going to look at the jacket. Would you like me to go ahead and roll to recognize it?
Yeah, sure. Give me a wits and awareness as well.
Okay, that is 4 and so 8 die.
So
That
we
is
came prepared
4
for wits and
successes.
awareness.
Yeah, 4 successes.
It is Trixie's jacket. Peggy says, "Look, you can have the jacket. I don't care, okay?" And she takes it off and she gives it to you. But I'm supposed to take all of you to go see the mayor right now. That's like my one job I was supposed to do today. I just got distracted by the cattle on the freeway. So let's just head over there. Follow
So-
me.
Now, before we get going here, Peggy, could you explain to me who is this mayor? I'm rather curious. I don't like walking into situations I'm not typically indulged in with pertinent information.
Oh, he's the mayor of Heaven, Nevada, where Trixie is, where I'm taking you to get Trixie right now.
Is he an actual mayor or like a weird kindred society mayor shit?
I mean, I wouldn't call us weird or nothing, but yeah, he's an actual mayor. And when you look at Peggy, you do notice that she seems to be, her physical being seems to be almost beating pulse like, drifting in and out, almost as if her obfuscate was messed up. She's disappearing and coming back in kind of a rhythmic pattern. Look, if I just take you there, you can meet him and see for yourself. You're here to get Trixie, right?
Yes. Well, why don't you lead the way?
Follow me.
Can I use sense the unseen on her? 'Cause I've seen stuff like that, but it's been ghosts every time. Gotta make sure this ain't a ghost.
Absolutely. Go ahead and use Sense the Unseen and
Specs.
That one's free.
free. When you look at her, you can tell that she is kindred. She's not a ghost. There's nothing ghost-like about her. She seems to be very much like you or Darla or Raphael or Clement. You can't tell if she's doing this, if it's her choice to be doing this, or if it's just something that's happening.
I'm gonna ask her. That thing you're doing, Miss, the in and out. That's mighty creepy, and I wish I could do that. What's going on?
What are you talking about?
You're doing hang on, don't look at me. And then it's not gonna be the thing because you can't be looking at me for me to do my thing, but you really gotta be looking at someone to get the effect that you're doing to us, and never mind.
Y'all are weird. Let's just go now. And she starts walking down the path.
Clement, can you take those two bodies? You look mighty strong. Handsome guy like you. This should be no problem, right? Just
Yeah, I
carry
can take
along.
him.
All right, cool.
Where
I might
are we
need
taking
him
him?
later. Wherever. I just might need him.
Oh,
So
I usually have a friend with me, but he's sort of, we had an accident, and I'm feeling lonely. A couple corpses could come in handy.
do we have any bags?
I got this. I'll just
You
hold up
may-
my little beat up suitcase. That won't fit them though.
You're clearly not being creative. I'm going to take the smallest of the two bodies and make it fit in the suitcase.
I'm not gonna let you get my suitcase. I need them full. I need them intact. I don't
Oh,
just
they're
need-
intact.
I don't need scraps.
Sort of.
Throw them
sorry,
over your shoulder or drag them.
Lullaby,
Come
why do you want to take the bodies with you?
Rafa,
He
have you
does
met
that-
me?
He does that zombie thing.
All right, well, do we not see all the cars and hauling bodies into what might seem to be an amusement park? Might not be a good idea.
She's not even hiding what she is, and I point to Peggy.
I was looking for a bag.
Look, if you
Raphael,
want, I can get you a dead body if you really want one where we're going. I'm
thank
sure that
you.
there's some
Finally,
lying around somewhere.
someone with some manners around here. I appreciate it, Miss Peggy.
I'll toss the bodies back in the back and close the door. Might come in
so
handy later.
you start heading down the road towards Heaven, Nevada. You look at the cars, and as you pass by, you see a Volvo with a "Just Married" sign on the back, a fancy sports car with immaculate interior, and throughout the car park, there are also large poles with speakers on top of them. And as you're walking, all of a sudden, bum, 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 the speakers buzz to life. And you hear Well, da 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 da. Music playing. It's old music. Older music. And as you're walking, you can't help but notice that the cars, the further you move down the road, they seem to be aging. Then, bong, 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 you hear something else over the speakers.
Everyone, I appreciate you all taking your time to have some fun here tonight. And I just want you to remember that when you spend time in heaven, you all get your wings.
What the ever-loving fuck was that?
So as we're walking, when I have Peggy kind of take the lead a bit and grab my pack mates, and grab Darla and Lullaby by the shoulders. All right, let's let her get a bit of a lead here. I do not like this.
I don't like it either, buddy.
Strange, even for our pack.
Yeah, let's stay close.
Right. We don't like this, and we weren't thinking about staying here.
So Peggy does move a little bit ahead of you. She does turn around and say, so that was the mayor, Mr. Walters. He's expecting you. So if you want to pick up the pace a little bit, that'd be much appreciated.
What's he mean by wings?
I don't, he's like pretty poetic. I don't know. He's always trying to find some sort of catchphrase for our town to increase, tourism or people that want to come. We have a big game tonight, actually. We're expecting some people to come in for that.
Game?
Yeah, we play games in heaven. Just kind of something for fellow licks to enjoy. Like almost like gambling, but with shovel heads or humans, or
Yeah. Raph, I really don't like this.
Do not either, Darla. This, well, you want to find Trixie?
Yeah.
So, let's get this over with.
Really good at gambling, so maybe we can win her. If it comes to that. This place is very bad. And Lullaby was clearly enjoying the music, snapping along with no rhythm and sort of enjoying a nice leisurely stroll while listening to us. He's really digging this, but now that Raphael has let us know that we don't like it, he's trying to, bad.
Well, to the games. Please, Peggy, let us not wait any longer.
Oh, yippee. All right. Well, we're almost there. See? And she points. And in the distance, you can see some neon lights actually flashing against the night sky. You're approaching heaven, and it seems to be just a very small town square. Outside of the town square, you can see some old buildings that look almost as if they've been blown up. And then across from that, you can see a large, it looks like a heap of trash, of garbage. The town really doesn't look like much except for the flashing lights. Suddenly, to the left of Peggy, a wild dog-type creature appears. It has no hair, and it's mangled and nasty. And it runs up to her, and it starts trying to bite her legs. Oh, stop it! Somebody throw a stick or something.
You want it dead, boss?
Handle it. Take care of the creature.
Get this thing off me.
I'm gonna move up and grab it by the scruff.
You pick it up, you grab it by the scruff, and you look at it, and it's a dog, but it seems to have human teeth. And its eyes
That's weird.
seem to be human eyes.
Rev?
Could I roll on this?
I
Sure.
could figure out what it is if you'd like, and I'll
See.
take out my little dagger. If I could just get a little drop,
Well, yeah, I'm holding it. Like,
I'll go up, poke it with a knife if I can, and just taste the blood.
Okay. You use Taste of Blood. You don't have to roll for it, I believe, unless do you have to roll Resolve and Blood
Yeah, I could
Sorcery?
do a ritual roll for this.
Okay.
Or not a ritual, it's a regular one.
to Peggy, I'm like, is this thing bugging you? Do you want it to go away?
No, just like look, just you could just put it down. It'll go away. I think that belongs to old man Lucas.
5 with a critical.
Well, this you can clearly see what this creature is, and it kind of scares you, maybe a little bit. It's some sort of flesh-crafted servant created and
So it's
obeying.
not dog blood, it's like human blood or ghoul blood.
Yes, it's ghoul blood. Created for the purpose of obeying as a pet.
Yeah, I'll take that. That right there ain't no
Ugly. Yeah,
dog.
I know. I can see it.
No. That was a person. Oh God!
That-
You look it in the
I'm
eyes, you can
sorry,
still
that
kind of
was
see
what?
it. A human, but someone gave it our blood and did something to make it look
Oh,
like
no.
that. This thing is some sort of cursed haint. If I ever saw one, and
No.
I don't like it. I like stuff like this usually, but yeah, I just keep staring it right in the eyes. Oh God damn!
No.
Peggy
You
walks
look-
over. Peggy walks over and tries to take the dog from you. And look, can you just let me have the dog?
I'm gonna look on the ground for something that's like a stick or something. I'm gonna-
and
Let her have the dog.
she grabs it in her arms. She says, "Now, what were you doing, huh? What were you doing?" And the dog just starts licking her face. You can see the dog's tongue all over her face, kind of gets in her mouth a little bit. It's actually, it seems kind of sweet, almost.
Is it one of those like kind of Zamisi ghoul like super long tongues that just kind of like almost wraps around her entire head type thing? Because that's just fucking gross.
It actually looks like more of a human tongue, which I don't know if that's better or worse.
Oh,
Yes.
So she puts it on the ground and she kind of smacks its butt a little bit and goes, "Now you be good." And the dog runs off in between the cars. And you are at the entrance to Heaven, Nevada. There are gates that you suppose are meant to look like the gates of heaven or the pearly gates. And you pass through. Peggy says, so we're going to meet the mayor in the Zephyr Diner. That's where he wanted. But if y'all want to have a little look around, you can. I mean, we got Stephanie's dancing tonight, and we got a game going on over there.
I think that will be grand. We would love to peruse around your establishment here.
We tell.
Well, there's not.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, she just says, "Well, there's not much to see, but I'll meet you back here in 5 minutes."
Can we tell what type of a game is being played? Like from this particular distance, is it like poker? Is
Probably
it like,
baseball. Vampires love baseball.
Oh, it's funny that you say that because there are bleachers, like baseball style bleachers, off to the right, and you do see Kindred hanging out on the bleachers, staring at a field within kind of a very tall fence, waiting for something to happen. eventually 2 trucks come around and their backs open up and they release 2 kindred into the ring and they start fighting. You can see people waving maybe what looks like cards or money or just their hands in the air screaming for the opponent of their choice.
Darla's going to grab on to Lullaby and Clement because she's not worried about Raph. And she's just going to say, no bets, no bets. I used to run this racket. No.
Look, Grandma always told me heaven was no place for a boy like me, but this feels right.
It's a racket. It's rigged. Don't. Nope.
Those are all the best games are.
I would listen to Darla's wise words, Lullaby.
Raphael, a second ago you were all excited to peruse. We're gonna peruse?
It's
In that
not,
You
case,
don't mean losing what little money we got left.
if you know which side is rigged, then we should bet for that side.
We
So,
don't got the time.
and we're completely alone, correct? Like at the moment, like Peggy's nowhere near us.
No, Peggy is off to the distance a little bit. She's waiting for you outside of the diner.
Okay.
After you had been look around.
so. Lullaby, do you know what kind of creature that was? Was it a dog?
No, I know how to make a lot of pretty unsavory things, but that might take the cake. I bring things back that shouldn't be here. Someone turned something into something that shouldn't exist.
That is the
You-
ugliest chihuahua I've ever seen.
Used to be a human, from what I can. It is still technically, if you want to get into the book term stuff, that's a person. Just the outside was. Well, I mean, you saw it. It looked
I
like a
only ever
person no
seen
more.
stuff like that once or twice, and I don't like the kind of people that can do it.
I don't think they like the kind of people that can do it.
Yeah, but what if that's who we're going to meet? What if we all wind up playing 101 Dalmatians instead of getting Trixie back?
Though, as I look towards the arena,
This does seem like an environment that Trixie would, well, excel in.
Yeah, I guess we got to make our bet then. Darn.
Okay, but if we run into a human centipede, I'm killing it.
It's probably hard to make stuff like that. If you just go smashing it, you're going to piss off whoever's making it. And we might never get Trixie back. Subtlety. That's how we operate here.
Let's-
I mean, if it attacks us, I don't really care.
All right,
There.
look, I know I'm not the one with the brightest ideas in here, categorically. But I think we need to just this perusing time, find a way out. Because I have a feeling once we meet this mayor, Mr. Fella, we're gonna need a way out once we got Trixie.
is there gates like around this town or heaven? Is there like large fences or anything like that?
No, not at all. It seems to be a very open place. The only fence that you can currently see now is the fence around the game happening that the Kindred are cheering on. And besides that, you can see a hotel, the Zephyr Diner, and a gas station. And that's pretty much all the town square is. On top of the hotel is the bright neon light that just says heaven.
Well, how about we establish a safe word? When I say crowbar, that's when we throw subtlety out the window and do what we do best. Is that agreed, Pack?
Yeah.
That's why you're the
Alright.
boss.
Well, let's go meet this proprietor of this business.
And I'm gonna, as we're walking through and heading in that direction, I'd like to make wits and awareness just to kind of see, looking down the roads, seeing which one would be harder to block us running away on? Like making sure which roads are wide, not any narrow streets or things like that.
Got it. There is actually just one road that goes straight into town, and that's it. The rest of town seems to be a vast desert. The one road that leads towards civilization is surrounded by the car park lot.
Yeah, I'm thinking like any space between buildings that might be big enough to run away just out into the desert, make a break for it if things
Yeah,
go.
if we need to cut and run, like if they can't like block it with cars or something when we're trying to run that direction.
And 4
Oh.
successes on that to just analyze the town enough that if we got to make a break for it, we know, like, we don't run into like an alleyway.
Absolutely. You do notice that the gas station, the diner, and the hotel are all freestanding, and you will be able to run around them without getting caught. There are no dead ends in this town.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Do you want me? I mean, the mayor invited us here. I assume he's going to give us Trixie in exchange for something. But if you want to cut and run, it might be good if I prepare some distractions just in case. She said she has bodies somewhere. I can get a whole bunch of bodies and create a ruckus if we need to. Cover stuff in shadow. I got all sorts of tricks I can do if we got to get out of here. You guys just find something big that's going to get us out of this road, maybe. You want me to start working on that?
Yes, if you can get your hands on some bodies and do what you do, that may come
I'll
in
go
handy.
find Miss Peggy. You guys are better at talking to the mayor and stuff like that anyway. I'll meet you at the games.
All right. Well, I'm going to start approaching Peggy and push forward towards the Zephyr Diner, correct?
True, the Zephyr Diner. And Peggy is outside of the Zephyr Diner as well. As you are walking up to the Zephyr Diner, you can't help but notice a little man in striped pants and a bright blue shirt following behind you. He seems to be taking notes in a notepad.
I'm going to snap around. Can I help you?
Yeah, hey, I'm Don. Y'all are here to meet the mayor tonight, right?
Yes, and can I help you? Why are you taking notes?
No, I'm just writing some stuff now. I'm trying to run some numbers on that game over there. You know, it's a good one.
How'd you know we were meeting the mayor?
Cause he told me. I mean, I kind of help run the place. You know, I'm like the food and beverage manager.
What's your name?
Don.
Don. Don of food and beverage.
Well, I mean, not really. Just like making an analogy. You know, like I kind of help. You know, I help him run the place. Yeah, that's a good one. Guest services.
Thank you, Don.
Well, Trixie's a real gas. She's really excited that you're finally here.
So she's safe.
Yeah, she's safe. She's hilarious. I love that chick. She's got a real punk attitude.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Can I do an insight roll?
Sure.
Let's see here. What would you like with that? Would you like wits and insight or
Let's do yeah, what's an insight?
okay. Three successes. I'm just trying to determine if that was a lie or not, if she is safe. So
You can tell that she is safe.
Well, I'm going to go and push on to meet the mayor.
So I'm assuming you all walk up to meet with Peggy now, correct?
Yes.
While this is happening, Lullaby would he really wants to see everything in this town. This is a good excuse. Well, if Peggy's there, she said she knew where bodies were. He's just going to inquire where the trash gets taken out.
Oh, what you wanna? Oh, right, because you wanted the bodies. Around the back of the diner, that's where we dump them when we're done. You'll see there's a whatchamacallit, a freight container back there. Just open that up. You'll see
perfect.
lots of bodies.
Are there any? I hate to be, but I mean, I am kind of a guest here. You got stuff to eat too? Anything a little more fresh?
Well, yeah, in the diner we got lots of I mean,
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah, I'll
a
join. I'll
diner.
join my friends then. Of course, it's a diner. I look silly now. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Okay. Come on in. And she opens the front doors to the diner. You walk in, and the same kind of old school 1950s music is playing inside of the diner. There's a soda jerk bar, and behind the bar is, in fact, a soda jerk. His face seems to be kind of melting off as he stands there with his little white hat on and his white shirt with the bow tie. And he says, "You want something to drink?"
Got anything in a 92?
All I got is what we got on tap.
Yeah, right. Fuck it, I'll take it.
Oh, goodness. Where's the mayor?
Oh, he's over there, he says, as he takes an old school kind of a soda fountain cup and fills it up with Vitae from a spigot. And he hands it to Clement.
I'm going to down it.
As you look over, Darla, oh, go ahead and down it. And it's standard Vitae. It tastes like it's from someone who's very much alive. Not quite sure how they do that, but works. Darla, as you look over, you do see 3 men sitting at the end of the Zephyr Diner. One of them is sitting on a table, and that is Mr. Walters. What does Mr. Walters look like, Alex?
Mr. Walters is a rather large and rotund man. Large, not in height, but in stature. He's kind of balding on the top of his head with kind of, red hair around the sides. And he's very reminiscent. The first thing that comes into your mind is he's reminiscent of a toad. He looks very toad-like. And he's got a very nice suit that is, his neck is kind of coming out over the top of. And he is sitting there looking more comfortable than you've ever seen anybody look. And yeah, that's you can see he's got a smile on his face, but as you look, his mouth you see tracks like folds that go much farther back in his skin.
Darla is going to... How is his seating arrangement? Is he like in a booth and there's empty seats?
So he is sitting on a table of a booth, and then next to him are actually 2 other men. To his right, there is a large, muscular man, but these muscles look too round to be muscles almost. And they're almost like muscles on top of muscles. And the muscles that are on top of the muscle seem to be moving around his body as he is sitting very still in place. You see one of the muscles slide up his bicep over his deltoid and around the back of his neck. But he's just sitting there like it's a Tuesday or whatever. He doesn't bother him. To the left of Mr. Walters is a long and skinny man with a very narrow face and very narrow shoulders in track shorts and a track tank top, spinning a revolver rather quickly.
Darla is going to go and take the first available seat in front of them. And not say a word. She's just sitting in front of him.
I will join
Mr.
Donna.
Walters just looks her up and down. Are your friends going to join us?
In their own time.
Well, sit down. Sit down.
While they're sitting, can Lullaby, is Peggy in here as well?
Yeah, Peggy's in here. She's talking to the soda jerk.
Is there like a jukebox or music playing in here?
There is music playing in the diner, but it is not a jukebox. It's just playing over
Just
speaker.
music playing.
It's,
Well, I
it's
see.
playing Venus by Frankie Avalon right now.
While I see the big kids getting ready to do business, I'm gonna extend my hand and ask Peggy if she'll dance with me for a second. Chat with her about the place, if we can have a little dance to the music while they talk.
Ralph is going to join Darla.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there too.
Okay, great. Well, as Clement and Raphael joined Darla, Peggy, quite surprised to be asked for a dance, says, okay, if you know how to dance, I guess I'll do it. And you take her hand, and as she's dancing with you, she is still fading in and out. You can see through her every other second.
Yeah, I'll just casually. I mean, I can roll. I have performance. Lullaby might be a good dancer.
Let's find out.
Excellent performance. That's great.
Do it, Dex and performance.
Not a bad roll. 100 dice in that.
That's like one of the more rare roles as opposed to wits and awareness.
4 successes.
Well, you, my friend, know how to Lindy Hop. You know how to collegiate shag. You know how to Balboa. You know all the classic old dances of the day. So when you dance with her, it's just easy peasy. Like you are not only dancing well, but you are dancing well from the era of the music.
Awesome. Yeah, I just want to dance, have fun with her, maybe sprinkle in conversation while this is going on, so we don't have to actually go through it, but just sort of asking about the blood source. Lullaby needs living samples to do what he needs to do. So we'll dance, have fun, maybe loosen her up and inquire about that tap, because that just tastes so fresh, where it's actually come from, and just as we go.
She is having a great time dancing with you, and she laughs and she says, what do you mean? Don't you have eyes? Can't you see? Look. And she points, and you look, and you can see kind of there's the kitchen door behind the soda jerk fountain, and there's a window. And as you look through the window, you can see near dead mortals hooked up to something.
Okay. Is there a lot of
Air
people back
pressure
there?
system.
No, there's no one back there except for the source of the Vitae.
Perfect. All right.
Moving back, let's join Raphael and Clement as you sit down with Darla and the mayor and his friends.
Thank you for
Hey.
joining us.
If Raphael sits down, I'm gonna stand behind Darla and Raphael just to make sure that I'm ready in case any shit goes down.
By all means, sit down if you're comfortable.
I'll take a seat next to Donna.
He likes to stand. It's fine.
By all means, do what you gotta do. Now, just so that I make sure I'm not wasting my time, you all are the pack that usually runs with one Trixie?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Good. Perfect. I'm talking to the right people. Now, I appreciate you all coming this long way to pick up your friend. I acquired her as a side effect of a different transaction, and I thought it was only appropriate to get her back to the people she came from.
What kind of a transaction deals in other people?
It was a transaction with some Tremere. The details of that transaction are not really relevant to this conversation.
Oh,
Now, as he's talking, you see that what the lines that run down the sides of his face split a little bit, and you can see teeth that run much farther back than they should. Oh, I'm sorry, my manners. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Philip, and he points to the big, hulking monstrosity, and Mr. Francois, and he points to the very lean person. They are my associates, and it would be rude of me to not introduce them.
Billy and Frankie, got it. Anyway, where's Trixie?
Oh, you are just right to the point, aren't you?
I figure let's not waste anybody else's time. You seem like a busy man.
Well, I am, but I am also in the business of pleasure. So I thought this would be a time where we could all sit and have a chat. I do so like new people coming to my little slice of heaven.
Having Trixie back is my pleasure.
Well, all right, if you're that determined. Why is she so important to you?
Oh, you know, I'm sure it's written on a Valentine's Day card somewhere.
Well, none of my business, I guess. Well, I do have one thing to ask for in return for you picking up Trixie. Now, it's not a big deal. It's not a big thing. It's not money. It's not nothing like that. The only thing I ask is if you would mind picking her up yourself. Because right now, she's in a place, we had a little bit of a disagreement, and she's in a spot where I can't really go get her. You see, my physical doesn't allow me to get down through this. She went into a trap door I got, and she won't leave. And so I need you all to go in and get her out, because she won't come out for me.
What'd you do to her?
I did nothing to her. We just had a disagreement.
I'm sorry.
Cross my heart.
You want us to go down a trap door that you...
Well, it's a turn of phrase. It's just a door in the floor that I can't get through because honestly, I'm too fat.
I look and I pan to the very skinny individual with the revolver.
And I see him, I clock him, look at him, I go, claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic.
It's a serious condition.
If you want, I could help him with that.
How?
Push him hard enough, he'll go anywhere.
You are by all means welcome to try.
So, you are just giving us Trixie. The goodness of your cold heart.
I don't keep people. She came as a byproduct of another transaction, and I don't have any use for her. I've not
Why
done
would they
anything
have
to her.
given her to you?
What?
Why would they have given her to you?
You know, it never occurred to me to ask.
What kind of a person just accepts another person in a trade without wondering why the fuck you're getting them?
The same kind of person that makes that. And he points out the window, and you see there's kind of almost like a podium sort of thing going on in the middle of this kind of walkway area. And there are people kind of doing a show, dancing, entertainment for the people who are in the main square kind of area. And they all have different amounts of limbs, and they all have, 4 arms, all different amalgamations of body parts. I tend to get creative when the mood strikes me, and I create things, just like I created this town. And I am not above accepting raw
Spare
materials.
parts.
But I was so, what's the word I'm looking for? I was so taken by Trixie's personality and attitude that I decided not to use her for my normal business. So, she was so charming, I thought I'd give her back to her friends.
You do know this stinks to high heaven, right? I
How
just want to
long
make
you
sure
been-
we're all on the same page.
How long have you been a kindred?
Long enough.
Then you should know everything stinks to high heaven. So why is this any different?
Because I got to decide what I'm going to do with you at the end of the night. I would
Well.
like to leave you be.
Now, my dear, I have not threatened you in any way.
It's
and
not
I would
a threat.
appreciate the same courtesy coming from you. It is obviously a threat. Are you kidding me?
It's not a threat, darling. I just want us to all be honest with each other. And I figure it's on the up and up if I tell you that if anything's happened to Trixie, I will try and kill you. It's not a threat. I just figure it's a fair warning because I get a little unhinged sometimes when things happen to my girl.
That's perfectly fair, and I can guarantee you I have done nothing to harm Trixie.
I certainly hope so. Thank you.
Insight
You're
roll?
welcome.
Could I roll an insight roll on that?
Yeah,
Sure.
do a wits and insight.
Okie dokie. 5 successes.
Looking at him, you can tell that Trixie is unharmed.
Yeah. Now, Darla, I know you can be rather passionate when it comes to Trixie.
I'm just being honest.
I love that about you, Darla. Now, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
where is this trapdoor?
Oh, it's right around outside. I can take you to it.
Please, lead the way.
Absolutely. And I.
And
Oh no, please! I motion for them to stand up.
okay, Lullaby, you are dancing with Peggy, and she sees you kind of looking over at them, but she thinks you're looking at the dancers outside, and she kind of turns a little red, actually a little too red. It's kind of weird how red she turns, and she says, "Oh, you like the dancers?"
No, I just never seen something so quite like that. But still, despite all that going on out there, and I'll look to her, probably the second most interesting thing I've seen today.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Yeah, sometimes someone told me once that well, it's like a side effect.
Of
You know the radiation.
oh, so that's what's doing all of that. Here, I was thinking that you had some
Oh,
crazy
damn.
mayor who is doing this to your people, but yeah, it's just radiation. All right.
They're leaving. Should we follow them?
Yeah. I'm sure it's something important.
Okay. So we all follow Mr. Walters, the mayor, outside. And where do you take us?
You see when he stands up, he's not much taller than he was when he was sitting. He's a pretty small man. He's just round. And he kind of, Danny DeVito's his way through the diner and goes out the door, takes a left, and kind of leads you over to close towards the hotel. And in the side of the hotel, there's less of a trap door and more of like the entrance, a double door entrance to a basement.
Oh, like the little storm cellar doors?
Yeah, storm cellar
Okay.
sort of basement thing. And he opens it up, pulls one door, and the muscly man walks over and pulls the other door open at the same time. And I go, she's right down there. Miss Trixie, would you mind letting your friends know where you are?
Fuck you. And yeah, Darla, I'm down here.
As I said, she's down there, and we had a disagreement.
Darla's gonna rush down without thinking.
I'm gonna
And-
run after her.
And what about Clement and Lullaby?
Fucking hell, why does the Bruja have to be the sensible one?
Because you're in a pack with a Malkavian.
Yeah. Hello.
Lullaby.
Well, if I wanted to get some friends, I was going to do that, but it seems like might not have time. At least now. I've scoped out where all my ingredients are, at least. Yeah, let's go see what they get up to. I'll head down.
I do really appreciate you all taking care of this sticky situation.
Gonna keep an
before I
eye
go
on Mr.
down.
Walters as I go down.
And as I go down, I'm going to kick on Sense the Unseen.
Great. The doors slam shut behind you.
Before
Sounds
that, can I get a quick word to Peggy and just be like, I don't be a stranger. I want another dance before we go.
Sounds good, darling. And the
My hat
doors. Oh, you tip your hat. What a gentleman. Lullaby. The doors shut behind you, and another sound, and another sound, and another
I kinda
sound.
Figured as much.
Yep.
Probably sounds like chains.
You are in the dark. It is very dark. You kind of stumble down some steps, and at the bottom, you can see a distant light, very distant. And you hear, all of a sudden, a scream. It sounds like Trixie. Ah! And that's it. Sense the Unseen, you don't see or feel anything else in particular about this space, but you do notice along the walls as you are heading down this walkway are military equipment, helmets, gas masks, boxes filled with files.
You hear from above. Now just keep on going down that hallway. You'll find your friend soon enough.
If you don't open this door again, I will fucking eat you.
I'm sorry, I really can't hear what you're saying. And you just hear and then you hear footsteps going away.
And Darla's going to run towards the scream.
She goes again.
Start running after Darla.
Look towards Clement again. We might be the sensible ones. He'll shudder with that thought. Unseen passage.
Darla long ago.
Silence of death. Getting a little hungrier as he goes invisible and quiet and tails behind. Probably pulling his shotgun out of his briefcase because things probably going to get messy here.
Ooh.
Yeah, with these guys running after everything without thinking first, it's like about as useful as a sensible idea at a Bruja meeting.
And Darla still has her 2 pistols hidden in her fur, as always.
Gotcha. This is just one long, narrow hallway. There is no right or left. It just seems to be a straight path. As you walk along, you do stumble over a kind of a crunchy sign on the ground.
Take a look at it.
It says, test site, no trespassing.
I'm gonna yell towards Darla. Darla,
What?
we need to slow down. I understand you want to see Trixie, but we need to be cautious.
Whatever's down here that's too dangerous for us, she's already down here with it.
Just be careful. I'm right behind you.
And Darla's going to push on, but she is going to slow down just a little bit. She's not full running, but she is brisk walking.
That's what I do every morning for my exercise now. Brisk walking. Side note. Okay, so she's brisk walking down the hallway. It's dark. It's a long walk. It's a very long walk. And then when you finally reach the end, the light is just a light bulb in a wall next to a ladder.
Does the ladder go up or down?
The ladder goes up, up to an open patch of black, starry sky.
Darla is going to stop and turn to Raphael upon seeing this. Just go, how did we hear her down here? With this hallway being so long, and now this ladder, how did we hear her right by those doors?
I
Well,
believe it was radiation.
right.
Oh my god, you were not in World War II. Shush.
I don't know if radiation does that.
It
Oh, it
doesn't.
does a lot of things, apparently.
I have a feeling
I'll tackle that later.
I have a feeling I know what's on the other side of that ladder. We're playing games if we like it or not.
I don't like getting in games with types like that.
Well, I'm gonna start climbing up the ladder.
Yeah, Raphael, go first. The entrances are everything. When I do my haunting stuff, yeah, Raphael should be first. Darla, Clement, you go for like the brooding, quiet type, and then I'm gonna go up invisible, and I'm gonna do this whole big flourish, and God, the crowd's gonna go wild. This is gonna be great. I'm glad we found Trixie, but this is gonna be good. Ooh, Raphael,
whatever, lullaby.
tentacles really a lot of times you just shoot them out and just start tearing stuff up. Think about the presentation. Think about the first thing people see when those things come out. Really give them a show. Don't just have them start ripping
already
it
at the ladder. Just ignoring this whole time.
Darla's ignoring it as well. She's just right behind Raph.
And Clement, if there's any way you could incorporate throwing things, even one of us, one of them, anything like that, crowd loves that.
Why did I get stuck down here?
All right, everyone remember your places.
I wait until Darla and Raphael are up the ladder, and then I'm just going to soaring leap up.
That's good.
Right.
And Lullaby, the showman of the group, apparently, you are the last one to come up, or before Clement?
Yes.
Okay, great. When you reach the top of the ladder, you do see the sky above you, but you are enclosed in a 4-wall sort of room. You can't see anything around you. You do hear some noises. It sounds like metal clunking together. Then suddenly the hole that you came out of covers itself, and all 4 walls collapse. You are in the middle of an arena, a giant arena. That pile of trash that you thought might have just been a dump out in the distance was actually cars stacked on top of each other, straight up into the air. On top of it's about a circle, and the diameter is about a mile, so it's rather large. At the top, you can see Kindred everywhere sitting along the top. In the middle of the arena are 3 cars stacked on top of each other. On top of those cars is a round, black, large atomic bomb with the name Betty Sue written across the side in white paint. And on top of the atomic bomb, staked to a wooden pole, is Trixie. And that is where we're going to take a quick break. I would like to remind everybody watching to please donate to No Kid Hungry. We all came together to tell this story to you, to raise money for a very excellent cause. And people in the United States, people all over the world right now are hungry, and people need help. And we're really hoping that you can find it in your hearts to donate a little bit of money towards the charity. No donation is too small or too big. So we will be right back in a few minutes to see what happens. Thank you.
Papa, I'm so sad and lonely. Such a tearful little child. Since dear mama's gone to heaven, Papa, darling, you've not smiled. I will speak to her and tell her that we want her to come home. Just you listen and I'll call her through the telephone. Hello, Central, give me heaven, all my mama's there. You can find her with the angels on the golden stairs. She'll be glad it's me who's speaking. Call her, won't you please? For I want to surely tell her we're so lonely here. When the girl receives this message coming o'er the telephone, how her heart thrilled in that moment, and the wires seemed to moan. I will answer just to please her. Yes, dear heart, I'll soon come home. Kiss my mama, kiss your darling through the telephone. Hello, Central, give me heaven, all my mama's there. You can find her with the angels on the golden stairs. She'll be glad it's me who's speaking. Call her, won't you please? For I want to surely tell her we're so lonely here.
And welcome back. I would like to remind all of you to please, if you haven't already, donate to No Kid Hungry in the linked web link below. Please, we're doing this to raise money for such a wonderful cause, and we would love for you to be a part of that too. So here we are in the desert of Nevada, far outside the city of Las Vegas. In 1951, nuclear testing outside of the city of Las Vegas was a very common thing. Tourists would stand on their balconies of hotels like the Flamingo and watch mushroom clouds in the distance. One of these sites was taken over by a former casino owner, now turned lick, Mr. Walters. Turned this into his own Sabbat gambling, gang pleasure paradise. And our pack is there now in an arena, getting ready to save Trixie, who is currently in a very dangerous position. At the top of this arena is a large, elaborate, and very fancy box seat occupied by one Mr. Walters, his muscle, his quick minion, and Don, the bookie, who's running the numbers. So, boss, we have a 4-to-1 odds. The creatures that you got from the Tremere over these guys, but a lot of people think these guys can do it.
Interesting. I guess we'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That one lullaby one gives me the creeps.
And you see Mr. Walters grab something from next to his seat and pulls up an old style like mic, and you hear a PA system turn on. And he says, "Now, I do have to apologize. I may have been a little vague about the situation at hand, and I do ask your forgiveness. But you see, it might have gone a little bit smoother had Clement was your name, not killed Mike when you got here. He was mine, and I do not appreciate my things being taken from me."
The crowd goes wild at this. There's licks screaming and hollering and hooting and waving money in the air.
Now, I would very much like to introduce you to someone very special to me. If you'll look behind you, Betty Sue is my pride and joy of my establishment. She was here when I bought the place, and we've kind of started up a marriage of sorts in keeping this place together. Now, I would appreciate you all playing along in that for you to get your friend Trixie out of here alive and well, you're going to have to play a little game. And he slams on his console, and you see gates in the sides of the cars, kind of like car doors. It's like they're made into the welded cars together. These doors open up in the sides. And now, my money is on you surviving, but you know, you never can tell. And just remember while this is happening that everybody is welcome in heaven. And he starts laughing, and he snaps his fingers, and the big muscly guy pulls up from below him an entire torso, like a human torso. And you see Mr. Walters' jaw just unhook, and the teeth run all the way down. And he eats the entire torso and shuts the mouth back up again. And as he does that, what comes out of the doors?
Delicious. Slowly lumbering, crunching out of the doors, two very large and intimidating stone creatures. One of them tilts its head a little bit, and you can hear rocks almost crack as if it were cracking its neck. Do any of you have any points in occult?
I have one.
I have many.
Okay, Lullaby. I mean, you probably would already know, but just for fun, why don't you give me a wits and occult roll?
Use a willpower on that 'cause I did not roll nearly as good as I should have. Much better. 5.
5. You do realize that these are gargoyles. But much like Peggy's strange presence that seemed to be altered by something, these gargoyles are vibrating at a very intense rate. And that is something that you do realize is not normal. There's something off about them, but you do know them to be gargoyles.
You can thank those Tremere we spoke about earlier and providing me with the entertainment for this evening. And on that note, he slams both of his fists down on the table and he just says, "Fight!" And fireworks go out from behind the back of his chair. And Tutti Frutti by Little Richard starts playing over the speakers.
And the licks go wild. They are cheering, they are yelling, they are hollering. And right when he says that too, almost as if driven by his command, the gargoyles take off sprinting, but they are actually running laps around the inner circle of the arena.
As I'm watching these gargoyles, I'm going to turn to my pack. Well, pack, crowbar.
This guy has all the coolest toys. He has the performance, fireworks.
Can we save complimenting him for later?
I'm just saying our entrance, don't even bother. It's not going to be half as cool as that shit. Let's just kill these things. And I'm going to open up the suitcase and start getting out a skull.
I am going to pull my firearms out, pull out my 2 pistols, and just throw the fur. It's not worth it anymore.
I'm going to activate Arms of Ahriman.
Yes.
You're going to activate your arms.
Yes.
Would you roll for that?
Yep, Wits and Oblivion.
Okay,
And-
go.
All right. And I'm going to make just one big giganto tentacle.
Okay.
Gigantic
where-
tentacle.
Where are you sending that one?
I'll take the left gargoyle.
Okay.
Let's see here. Alrighty.
How many gargoyles are there in total?
2, I
There
think.
are 2.
2 running opposite laps or running together?
They're running opposite laps around the ring. So one of them, Raphael, I'm assuming, is taking whichever one he happens to strike on the left as it approaches.
Okay, then I am going to put my guns into my regular shoulder holsters, and I am going to take off after the other one.
Okay.
And I'm going to put up Silence of Death so it can't hear me behind it.
Ooh, good call.
All right. So I'm going to spend a willpower point and we roll 3 die. All right, that is 4 successes.
Okay, good. And you are intending on grabbing the gargoyle or obstructing its path?
I'm going to attempt to grapple it with a tentacle.
Okay, and you were able to grapple and grab the gargoyle, but it is struggling within the grip of the shadow and fighting furiously to be freed. Darla, are you chasing after the other gargoyle, or are you... Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm chasing after it, and the second I get close enough, I am going to try to essentially slide tackle its ankle to try
Okay,
and knock it down.
Give me a dex plus strength.
Dex plus strength, okay. 5 successes critical.
5 successes critical. You slide into the gargoyle and your foot strikes its leg. Part of the gargoyle's leg just seems to kind of fall off. However, it is still able to run with the what's remaining of its appendage.
Okay. it
So
can
you
run.
manage to slow it down and it can stumble, but it's still going.
Okay.
Clement, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take a bit of extra time, and I'm gonna activate prowess, and then Fist of Cain right after.
Ooh, you got it. Okay, prowess and fist of Cain. Remind me, what does fist of Cain do again?
Fist of Cain is the level 5. It is I'm able to do aggravated damage with my fists with potence.
Okay,
So I
sounds
succeeded
good.
on
And
the first, and I did not get the second rouse check.
so you get a little hungrier. Are you at 3 hunger now?
I am at 3 now. Yeah.
Okay.
And I did want to mention, Shane, I passed my rouse check for the tentacles.
Gold star for you, my friend. Great. Okay, so you are chasing after the gargoyle, and you're chasing after the one that Darla just obstructed, correct?
For me,
Yes.
I'm gonna be just soaring leap to punch the one that Raphael has.
Great. And you soaring leap and you punch it directly into what are you aiming for? Its face, its body?
I'm gonna take its head off if I can.
You do, and you are able to take the head off of the gargoyle. The head is off. Its body is still struggling within the grip of the shadow.
Usually they don't do that.
Well, this one does.
No, that's what I say in character.
I'm sure at this point you've realized I've made some modifications to your friends you're dealing with down there. Just taking the head off's not going to work the way it normally does. You're
And-
going to have to try harder.
With him saying that, with him saying try harder, since the head is still intact on the one that I'm with, I am going to run in front of it and try to use compel with rationalize and terminal decree as flavor for what I'm about to ask it.
You got it.
Since Darla at least remembers that gargoyles suck at mental stuff.
They do. They're actually very sensitive.
Use a burn of willpower. That was worth it. 9 successes, critical. And I'm going to say, rip off Mr. Walter's jaw.
The gargoyle stops and turns and looks at Mr. Walters, and it runs towards the wall directly under the box seat that Mr. Walters is in, and it hits the wall, and it's struggling to try and get up the welded together metal. However, this gargoyle can't climb, so it's just kind of like, you know, when a Roomba gets caught up against a wall or a corner, and it's just it's just doing that against the wall.
At least he's occupied.
Yeah.
Question for you, Shane. Are these gargoyles bonded to me?
They are bonded to you.
Okay, great. So I lean over the edge and I look down and I go, get back to work. Using Domitor's favor.
I was going to say the Michi things are super hard to control.
and the gargoyle kind of takes a step back and looks around, and it starts running in the exact same pattern that it was before, which is in the circular pattern around the ring.
And so with these gargoyles, from how we've knocked them apart, do they appear to just be stone, or granted that he's a Zemissi, is there a fleshy nature to them?
There is no fleshy nature to them.
That was clever, but unfortunately doesn't work.
Well, can't blame the girl for trying.
Not at all. Try anything you like.
With this, since Lullaby's not gone yet, watching all this go down, and undo a flask.
Uh-oh.
Take a sip. When everyone has their chance to earn their wings in heaven, and using essence of air, is going to start floating up.
Surprise, folks. He can fly. Where are you going?
Right now, just straight up, outside of where maybe a raging gargoyle might be able to grab me and rip me in half.
And as you do this, the crowd goes wild. And you hear people say, wow, look at that one. Whoa, what's your name? What's your name?
Lullaby.
You heard it, everybody. The one who can fly is named Lullaby.
And they go absolutely nuts. Let's see. So the gargoyle is still struggling within the shadow grip of Raphael. What happens next?
Oh, if the other gargoyles start to run around us again, I would like to take the gargoyle that I have grappled with my tentacle and start to swing it around and aim it towards the one that's running. So I want to slam it right into the other gargoyle.
Wonderful. What role shall I have you make for that?
So Wits and Oblivion is what I roll to attack and like grapple with the tentacles. So if that's what you would like me to roll, I can roll that or what have you.
Yeah, roll that one, I think.
Okay. That is 5 successes.
5 successes. And you are aiming for the gargoyle that is running around the ring. And you do actually hit it. The two gargoyles collide together and they both fall apart into pieces. As you do that, some of the debris hits the atomic bomb that Trixie is strapped to. It was a very good hit. And you can see Betty Sue kind of start to shake a little bit as the pieces hit her.
Whoa. No fair bringing Betty Sue into this fight. She's not part of it.
So, I broke your toys. What's next?
Mr. Walters, your muscle takes a step forward and his muscles on top of muscles are kind of going crazy all over his body. This is something that happens when he gets a little worked up. And he just gives you a look. And then he looks down there. And then he gives you another look.
I mean, by all means.
And he looks at the skinny one to his left, tracksuit. And they both just leap into the center of the ring. Muscle one starts making a run straight towards Darla.
I'm
The
going to try
skinny
to
one
intercept them
is
in
headed-
the air.
I am checking one of my powers.
Clement, what did you say?
I'm going to try to intercept the big one in the air.
Okay. Sounds good. Give me a, was it strength and dex? Or are you using soaring leap?
I'll use Soaring Leap, but it'll be...
Okay.
I have a specialty in Brawl of Kindred.
Oh. You're good, you. So
for the one that's running at me, I'm going to try to use entrancement to get it to be my friend.
and what are you going to what are you going
I have failed my rouse check, so I am at 2 hunger. So this is my charisma and presence versus its composure and wits.
Oh, got it.
You know, spend a willpower.
Okay. I'm rolling for Muscle Man.
I'm also going to spend another willpower to reroll.
That's 7 successes with a crit.
Got it.
Nine successes with a crit.
So a couple of things happen here. Mid-air, Muscle Man, who looks very, very, very angry and upset, his large round muscles circulating all over his body. He looks like he's going to tear someone apart. He looks at Darla. And suddenly he starts to soften. He almost looks like he shrinks in size a little bit. And he looks into her eyes and he starts thinking and feeling things that he has not felt since before that night in Vegas when he was on his way to go see Frankie sing at the Desert Inn. And then there was this shadowy creature behind him that and then all of a sudden, slap, he gets knocked. And that's Clement coming in for the kill, knocking him to the ground. Skinny Man has landed in the arena, and he is making a run straight towards Trixie.
So to correct the interior, it's the stacked up cars with the atom bomb on top with Trixie strapped to it. So he's running
Yes.
up the stack of cars.
He's running towards the stack of cars. Okay. He's not there yet, but he's very fast. He will probably be about to climb up the stack of cars in 7, 6,
I'm
5,
going to shoot him.
4.
Well, the rest
Three.
of us, Raphael and Lullaby, haven't gone yet.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. So Raphael, you said
Is it my turn?
yes.
Okay. I would like to take the tentacle and get a hold of him if I can.
Okay. You are gonna roll for that again?
Yep.
Okay. And what about you, Lullaby?
So what's Trixie? Is Trixie staked herself, or she's just like staked to this contraption?
So to be clear, there are 3 cars stacked on top of each other. On top of that car is the bomb, very much like the one behind you. And then on top of that bomb, there's kind of a wooden plank sticking straight up, and Trixie is staked to the plank.
Okay, so what I would like to do is as I float near her, pulling the skull I had from my bag, using its tether to compel a spirit and try to get a poltergeist to help me out here, one of the stronger, angrier ghosts. And say, well, look, you. Clement didn't take my advice on throwing things, but me and you are going to give him the show, or else it ain't going to be good for you in the afterlife. This is your way for a peaceful passing. You just throw her, and I point to the mayor over there, and I'm going to pull the stake out and compel the poltergeist to see if it can't. That's essentially like the physical manifestation anger one that can grab and mess with things to, if possible, take Trixie and place her by the mayor or toss her by the mayor.
Okay.
So, I do want to spend a willpower point on my roll. So it is a messy critical. It's 8 successes. I'm going to roll the 2 other die I have here. And okay, didn't get any extra rolls on my willpower roll. So it's 8 successes, messy critical. And I'm just, he's facing away from me, correct?
Correct.
Well, but
tentacle is going to go somewhere, and it's going to find a way in, and that is the plan of attack with it. So
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Okay, so a couple things happen. Your tentacle does actually go through the it goes through Tracksuit. Tracksuit is running towards the car, and he's about on top of the car. Your tentacle goes straight through. However, it knocks over the stack of cars. The bomb and Trixie attached to it fall. And the bomb, believe it or not, in the 60s, for a while, the United States was concerned that a certain country had nuclear weapons, and this was a big deal. And they thought that this country did have nuclear weapons because they had pictures of it from satellites in outer space. But it turns out that they did not have the actual nuclear weapons themselves. They just had the casings. And as this bomb falls to the ground, it cracks open from the blow of your tentacle. And Mr. Walters, there's nothing inside.
That is severely unfortunate.
Lullaby, you do summon your spirit, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And your goal was to have the spirit toss Trixie up towards the mayor?
Yes. Assuming when I pulled the stake out, did her eyes open or is she still out?
You pulled the stake out. You were able to do this after Raphael's tentacle knocked everything down. You were able to fall down and pull the stake out, and her eyes do flutter.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just look. Good morning. You feeling angry?
Yeah.
This might wake you up. The code word is crowbar, and I'm just gonna have the spirit just lift her and send her towards the mayor.
The spirit is capable of doing this. It's a powerful spirit. Trixie lands in the box suite with the mayor, but she's having trouble coming to her senses. She looks up and she just sees his smile, Mr. Walters.
Yeah. Mr. Walters turns, sees her land, and goes, I'm not sure why you did that. And then he looks down and he goes, using compel, which I got 7 successes on with a critical, retreat. And associates come back if they're able. And he turns and looks at Trixie and says, I'm honestly not sure why your friends decided to toss you up here. I was all in the mind of letting you go. So, how about you go back and join your friends, and you can all leave here peacefully. But if you decide not to, we can have a different conversation. And you see his throat kind of bulge a bit, and he drops his jaw, and hands from inside point a shotgun at Trixie.
Okay, whatever you say. And go
The
ahead.
shotgun pulls back in, the mouth shuts again. Good.
Trixie turns and she looks down at the center of the arena. Then she turns and she looks back at you, Mr. Walters, and says, I don't like you.
That's terrible, because I actually like you very much.
And she jumps over the edge of the presidential box presidential box, the box suite,
Yes.
and kind of just ragdolls into the center of the arena.
Darla's gonna immediately run to Trixie and hold on to her.
Well, it appears that this pack has succeeded. Screaming into the mic. And their prize for winning this arena. You get to walk out of here with everything you brought, including your friend.
Half of the crowd is cheering at this. The other half of the Lick crowd is booing. You can tell the sincerity in Mr. Walter's voice. You are free to go. And after he says that, similar to the gated welded card doors that let the gargoyles into the ring, another one opens up at the end of the arena. This one opens up and you can see the large dirt Cathari Road spread out into the distance.
And don't you worry, folks. We'll get Betty Sue back on her feet as soon as we're able. And he leans over to the bookie. He goes, find me a real atomic bomb this time.
Yeah, no, we got them somewhere. That was just the casing.
I realize that now.
I mean, there's not really a good way for me to test, you know, like.
Yeah, no, I'm not blaming you. That's embarrassing.
Is the half booing crowd and where the presidential box is it reasonable from the look of the arena that if he were to exit the presidential box, he would have to walk through the people? Like, is it the entrances near the bleachers the same way, or does it appear to not have an entrance?
You cannot tell from the center of the arena where the entrance is. From your vantage point, your viewpoint, you almost feel like you're in just a very slick, high-walled, circular, kind of like if somebody just put a cup over all of you.
Okay. Then I'm going to do something stupid.
Right.
Let me rouse check for it. Thank God I passed. I am going to use compel with mass manipulation
Oh, damn.
on the booing crowd. This is a messy critical with 7 successes. And to the booing people, I will say, He promised you a show with an atomic bomb and he lied to you. You know what we do to liars? You should rip him apart.
All of a sudden, the cheering and the booing stops. And the crowd just looks at one another and they're kind of confused. And then something happens that can only be described as a mass frenzy. The crowd starts ripping each other apart. Mr. Walters, still safe in his box suite, his muscle, his tracksuit back to him now, they seem to be unaffected. The pieces of a gargoyle rock everywhere are just kind of vibrating on the ground, and all around you are licks tearing each other apart.
It's rather bad sportsmanship for you to have gotten rid of all my customers. I would appreciate you leaving now before you cause any more trouble for me to clean up. And as I say that, you see the muscle guy kind of flex and you start seeing like jutting bones start poking out of his skin. And the gun guy points 2 revolvers, then you see a third arm come up above the shoulder and point another gun. I would appreciate you leaving now. because you have definitely not seen all my tricks.
You haven't seen mine. Let's go.
Trixie grabs your arm, Darla, and she's not in good shape. And you don't know if this is the just kind of what else she has been through since she's been here, or if it was just the staking itself. But she says, please, Darla, let's just get out of here.
And that kind of snaps her too. And Darla just finally makes full eye contact with Trixie and just holds on to her hand tighter and goes, okay, baby girl, let's go.
Boss, are we leaving?
Yes, let's get out of here. I'm tired of these games.
And you hear Mr. Walters go, boys, clean up this mess.
With
And-
a quick scan, do I see Peggy in this crowd?
You do see Peggy right before she reaches her final death. She is looking you right in the eyes and is about to wave and say something. But as she does, a gambling, no good, crazed lick comes up behind her, and Diablo rises.
I will give a quick glance towards Darla, who caused all this mess. Slowly rotate back towards Peggy. And if I can float in, a final death is tragic. Lullaby knows it's not final. And if I can... Did she have anything else on her? I know she had Trixie's jacket. Did she have any other item of importance or anything on her?
She had her hair in a ponytail with a pink scrunchie.
I
She
will
had-
risk the crowd to go in, having the poltergeist, if possible, sort of clear the way and knock some people out, and at least grab this scrunchie.
Hey, Lullaby, worry about your girlfriend later. We're booking it.
In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, you hear Mr. Walters singing from the box.
Grabbing that, getting out of there with this bloody scrunchie, soul just sort of floating through the air, stopping, pausing for just a moment in front of the box, looking towards the mayor. For what it's worth, that was one hell of a show. Took my hat and head float towards the rest of my pack.
And the mayor winks at you.
And our pack heads back down Cathari Road, exits the same way they came in. Along the freeway, who knows who they will find? Degenerate gamblers, people rushing to Las Vegas to get married, people searching for UFOs. But they will find a way to get where they want to go, and they won't let anybody or anything stand in their way. And that is our story for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and thank you so much for having patience with me. Like I said, this was my first time storytelling ever.
You were great.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
So
good.
That was
Really
so
good job.
wonderful.
Thank you. I learned a lot, and there's still a lot to learn. And I really just hope if you are out there watching this and you're considering trying to run a story, I really hope you do, because it's a great way to have fun with your friends. It's a great way to express yourself. And it's also a great way to raise some money for a good cause like we're trying to do today with No Kid Hungry. Please make a donation if you can below. And on that, I'd love for everybody to please reintroduce themselves and plug any projects that they have or that they would like to mention that are coming up. Ellie?
Hi, I am Ellie Collins. I am the storyteller for ATL by Night. We air every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're currently in our 4th season. definitely check us out over there. You can find me on socials at Ellie_A_Collins or at ATL by night on everything. Thank you guys so much for donating and for joining this story. Shane, you did amazing.
Bully?
I'm actually I'll go last so I can say all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Pass.
Sorry, who next?
You
go-
spoke.
I guess I
Go
just
for it.
volunteered. All right.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Steve. I am the storyteller for Vancouver by Night. We kind of took over Saturdays. We start at 3 p.m. PST over on the Level Up Dice channel for Vancouver Adjacent by Night. And then we immediately head over to Vancouver by Night on Twitch to do the other Chronicle that I'm running. So we do those two. So check us out on Saturdays starting at 3 p.m. PST.
Elijah.
Okay. So my name is Elijah Israel. I am the storyteller for the Near Dark Society. Currently, right now, we have D&D 5th edition on Sundays, Death Attack. It is 8 p.m. Central. Mondays, we have our Call of Cthulhu game. Typically, I run Chicago by Night during that day. I'm currently on hiatus, working on a new project. So it should be fun when I go to announce that. And I believe that's it. So, and thank you, Shane, for storytelling. You were fantastic, and it was a pleasure to play with Alex here with his fantastic CBC. So,
Well, my name is Alexander Ward. I'm an actor, and I play Jasper on LA by Night, and I have another RPG show that happens every Friday night for another 4 episodes for this season of Eclipse, which is over on Josephine McAdams' channel. And we play a sci-fi RPG using the Mothership system. So we're doing that every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Pacific. Other than that, you can find me on social media and Twitch under my name. But thank you very much for letting me play, Shane. This was a lot of fun. I love playing Zamitzi, and this is the first time I've gotten to play one in V5, so I'm appreciative.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is so fun. I'm Shane, storyteller, and I play Katya on LA by Night and Jax Tuesday on Denver by Night. And recently I was just really lucky to be able to join my friends at Table Goth here for a Good Society game, which was so much fun. So thank you for watching. Bully!
Hey, it's me. This is our channel, Table Goth. We do Vampire, Cults of Cthulhu. We're getting ready to do Call of Cthulhu. Getting ready to do Cults of the Blood God from the official module now, which should be fun. No Kindred Hungry though. Thanks again to all the storytellers. We started this forever ago when there was only a handful of chronicles going, and we're pretty much the only storytellers around. Now there's so many more, and I would love to involve them and stuff. This is such a cool way for the family to get together, raise some money for an awesome cause, like Shane said. We hope to continue this series. Obviously, we're all very busy now, so that's why you get seasonal, as Ellie said, games. Switching off storytellers each time. Thank you again, Shane, for doing an awesome job for your first time. Ellie and Elijah are the ones left to take over this pack for something. We'll see what happens in the near future, hopefully. But yeah, thanks those of you who donated or those who just watched and shared and done what you can. I love this project and what it's grown into. What it will continue to be as things keep getting crazier and crazier with this group. I love it. We'll have a playlist on YouTube of all of the games so far so you can keep up. These stories are loosely connected. There's a little bit of reason for this chaos, but thanks everyone for being here. Thank you again, Alex, for guesting and all the storytellers for taking time out of your schedule. And Shane, once again, blessing as always. That is it for our game then. Take care. And what's the thing you say, Ellie? Thanks for watching us be bad people for a good cause.
Yeah, let's do a little good while being really bad.
There it is. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.
I